Neuroscience has unlocked many secrets about how our brains learn, remember, and process information. By understanding these mechanisms, we can adopt simple yet incredibly powerful mini-habits that, when consistently practiced, can revolutionize a student's learning journey and significantly boost their cognitive abilities. This isn't about magical shortcuts, it's about leveraging our brain's natural design to work smarter, not just harder. Welcome, curious minds, to Open for Learn. Today we're embarking on a fascinating exploration into the world of neuroscience-backed mini-habits. Imagine unlocking hidden potentials within your own mind, making learning not just effective, but genuinely enjoyable. This isn't just theory, it's a practical guide to transforming your academic life, one tiny, powerful habit at a time. So settle in, because your brain is about to get a serious upgrade. The brain, our ultimate learning machine. Before we dive into the habits, let's briefly appreciate the marvel that is the human brain. It's a complex network of billions of neurons, constantly firing, forming connections, and adapting. Learning, from a neurological perspective, is largely about strengthening these neural connections, synapses, and creating new ones. The more robust these connections, the stronger and more accessible the memory or skill. Our mini habits are designed to optimize this very process. The power of mini, why small is the new big. The concept of mini habits is deceptively simple, but profoundly effective. Traditional habit formation often fails due to overwhelm. We set ambitious goals, get excited, and then quickly burn out when the reality of the effort sets in. Mini habits, on the other hand, are so small, so seemingly insignificant, that they create virtually no resistance. The key is consistency. A mini habit, practiced daily, builds momentum, trains your brain, and eventually becomes an ingrained part of your routine. It's the compounding effect of tiny efforts that leads to monumental results. Mini habit 1, the 2-minute rule for starting, combating procrastination. The neuroscience. Our brains are wired for efficiency, and often, that means avoiding tasks that seem daunting or require significant effort. Procrastination is often an emotional regulation problem, where we avoid negative feelings associated with a task. Getting started is the biggest hurdle. The 2-minute rule leverages the principle of action begets motivation. Once you start, the brain's reward system can kick in, making it easier to continue. The habit. When faced with the task you're avoiding, commit to working on it for just 2 minutes. Studying for an exam? Open your textbook and read for 2 minutes. Writing an essay? Type 2 sentences. The goal isn't to finish the task, but merely to start it. Why it works? The mental barrier to doing something for 2 minutes is incredibly low. You're not committing to an hour of grueling study, just a tiny sliver of time. More often than not, once those 2 minutes are up, you'll find yourself in flow and continue working for much longer. Even if you don't, you've still made progress, which reduces the guilt and stress often associated with procrastination, making it easier to start again next time. Mini habit 2, active recall, strengthening memory pathways. The neuroscience. Simply rereading notes is a passive learning strategy that creates an illusion of knowledge. Our brains learn best when they are actively retrieving information. This process, known as active recall or retrieval practice, strengthens the neural pathways associated with that information, making it more robust and accessible in the future. It's like exercising a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. The habit. After reading a section of text, close your book or notes and try to recall everything you can about it. Ask yourself questions like, what were the main points? Can I explain this in my own words? What are the key definitions? You can speak it aloud, write it down, or even draw a concept map. Why it works? Active recall forces your brain to work. When you struggle to remember something, you're identifying gaps in your understanding, which then directs your attention to those areas. This desirable difficulty leads to stronger, more durable memories. Flashcards, self-quizzing, and explaining concepts to someone else are all forms of active recall. Mini habit 3, spaced repetition, optimizing memory retention. The neuroscience. The forgetting curve, a concept pioneered by Hermann Ebbinghaus, demonstrates that we rapidly forget information over time if we don't actively try to retain it. Spaced repetition counteracts this by strategically scheduling reviews of material at increasing intervals. This method leverages the brain's natural memory consolidation process, pushing information from short-term to long-term memory more effectively. Each time you recall information just before you're about to forget it, you strengthen the memory trace. The habit. Instead of cramming, review material periodically. After learning something new, review it within a day, then after a few days, then a week, then a month, and so on. There are many apps, like Anki, that automate this process for you, or you can create your own schedule. Why it works? Spaced repetition capitalizes on the brain's efficiency. By reviewing at optimal intervals, you spend less time overall on review while achieving better long-term retention. It's like giving your brain just enough of a challenge to keep the memory active without overworking it. This prevents the cram and forget cycle and builds a robust foundation of knowledge. Mini habit 4, the Pomodoro technique, enhancing focus and preventing burnout. The neuroscience. Our brains are not designed for continuous, sustained focus for extended periods. Attention wanes, and cognitive fatigue sets in. Regular breaks allow for mental rejuvenation, consolidation of information, and the replenishment of neurotransmitters crucial for focus. The Pomodoro technique, with its structured work and break intervals, helps to train attention and prevents burnout. The habit. Set a timer for 25 minutes and work with intense focus on a single task. When the timer rings, take a 5-minute break. After 4 Pomodoros, take a longer break, 15 to 30 minutes. Why it works? This method breaks down large tasks into manageable chunks, making them less intimidating. The short, focused bursts train your brain to concentrate, and the regular breaks prevent mental exhaustion. Knowing a break is coming helps maintain motivation. It also encourages a sense of urgency during the work periods, as you know you only have 25 minutes. Mini habit 5. Mindful breathing for 1 minute, reducing stress and improving cognitive function. The neuroscience. Chronic stress can impair cognitive function, including memory, attention, and executive functions. It floods the brain with cortisol, which can damage neural connections. Mindful breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, our rest and digest system, counteracting the effects of stress. Even short bursts of mindful breathing can improve oxygen flow to the brain and calm the amygdala, the brain's fear center. The habit. At any point during your study session or when feeling overwhelmed, take 1 minute to simply focus on your breath. Inhale slowly, count to 4, hold for 4, exhale slowly, count to 6. Repeat for 1 minute. Why it works? This mini habit provides an immediate reset. It pulls you out of a stressful thought loop, lowers your heart rate, and improves oxygenation. A calmer brain is a more efficient brain, better able to focus, process information, and recall memories. This isn't just about relaxation, it's about optimizing your brain's performance. Mini habit 6, the pre-mortem for problem solving, anticipating challenges. The neuroscience. Our brains are naturally inclined to seek solutions, but often we don't adequately prepare for potential obstacles. The pre-mortem exercise shifts our perspective, forcing us to think proactively about what could go wrong. This engages critical thinking and problem-solving circuits before a problem arises, preparing the brain to navigate challenges more effectively. The habit. Before starting a major project or study block, imagine that it has failed. Then, brainstorm all the reasons why it failed. I didn't understand the material. I got distracted by social media. I ran out of time. Once you have your list, devise strategies to prevent each of those failures. Why it works? This habit allows you to anticipate potential pitfalls and create contingency plans. By mentally rehearsing failure scenarios, you prime your brain to recognize and address challenges as they arise, reducing panic and improving your ability to adapt. It transforms potential setbacks into opportunities for preparation. Mini habit 7. The learning by teaching reflection, deepening understanding. The neuroscience. Explaining a concept to someone else forces your brain to process information in a deeper, more organized way. It requires you to clarify your thoughts, identify gaps in your understanding, and articulate complex ideas simply. This process strengthens neural connections and improves memory encoding. The Proust effect in learning suggests that active retrieval and explanation create richer, more interconnected memory networks. The habit. After learning a new concept, spend 5 minutes imagining you have to teach it to a 5-year-old or a complete beginner. How would you explain it simply? What analogies would you use? You can even talk to an imaginary student or a pet. Why it works? This habit highlights areas where your understanding is fuzzy. If you can't explain it clearly, you likely don't fully understand it yourself. It forces you to synthesize information, connect different ideas, and simplify complex concepts, leading to a much deeper and more transferable understanding. Mini habit 8. The growth mindset affirmation, boosting resilience and motivation. The neuroscience. Our beliefs about our own intelligence and abilities have a profound impact on our learning. A fixed mindset, believing intelligence is static, can lead to avoidance of challenges. A growth mindset, believing intelligence can be developed through effort, fosters resilience, a love of learning, and a willingness to embrace challenges. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change and adapt, is the underlying biological basis for a growth mindset. Affirmations, when regularly practiced, can help rewire neural pathways associated with self-belief. The habit. Each morning, or before a challenging study session, spend 30 seconds repeating an affirmation focused on growth and effort. Examples. My brain can grow and develop with effort. Mistakes are opportunities for learning. I am capable of understanding challenging concepts. Why it works. Regularly affirming a growth mindset helps to reframe challenges as opportunities for development rather than threats to self-worth. It encourages perseverance in the face of difficulty and reduces the fear of failure, leading to a more positive and productive learning experience. This internal dialogue directly impacts your brain's willingness to engage with demanding tasks. Mini Habit 9. The sensory-rich learning prompt, engaging more brain regions. The neuroscience. Our memories are multisensory. The more senses we engage during learning, the more pathways are created for retrieval. Visuals, sounds, smells, and even movements can act as cues to recall information. Incorporating sensory elements enriches the neural encoding process, making memories more vivid and accessible. The habit. When trying to remember something, try to associate it with a specific sensory experience. For example, if you're learning about a historical event, imagine the sounds of the time, the colors of the clothing, or even a particular smell. If you're learning a concept, try to draw a picture, create a jingle, or even act it out. Why it works. This habit creates multiple hooks for your brain to grab onto when trying to retrieve information. Instead of relying solely on linguistic memory, you're engaging visual, auditory, and even kinesthetic pathways, making your memories more robust and easier to recall. Mini Habit 10. The Digital Detox Minute, Restoring Attention. The neuroscience. Constant digital stimulation and notifications train our brains for distraction. The dopamine hits from notifications create a compulsive checking habit, fragmenting our attention and reducing our capacity for deep work. Even a brief digital detox can help reset the brain's attentional systems and reduce mental clutter. The habit. Before starting a study session, put your phone on silent and out of reach for at least 1 minute, ideally longer. Even better, designate specific no-phone zones or times. Why it works. This habit directly combats the detrimental effects of constant digital distraction. By consciously disengaging from your devices, you allow your brain to settle, reduce cognitive load, and prepare for focused work. It's a small act of self-control that yields significant returns in terms of improved concentration and reduced mental fatigue. Integrating mini habits into your life. The beauty of these mini habits lies in their simplicity. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. Start with 1 or 2 that resonate most with you. Practice them consistently for a few weeks, then gradually add more. The key is to make them so small and easy that you can't say no. Consistency is king. A tiny habit practiced daily is infinitely more powerful than an ambitious habit attempted once a week. Track your progress. A simple habit tracker, even just marking an X on a calendar, can provide a sense of accomplishment and motivation. Be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up if you miss a day. Just get back on track the next. Progress, not perfection, is the goal. Stack your habits. Link a new mini habit to an existing one. For example, after I make my morning coffee, I will do 1 minute of mindful breathing. The ripple effect. Beyond academics. While we focused on academic benefits, the cognitive enhancements from these mini habits extend far beyond the classroom. Improved focus, better memory, reduced stress, and enhanced problem-solving skills are invaluable in every aspect of life, from career development to personal relationships. You're not just learning to study better, you're learning to live smarter. And there you have it, a powerful toolkit of neuroscience-backed mini habits to unlock your full learning potential. Remember, the journey to mastery isn't about giant leaps, but about consistent tiny steps forward. By embracing these small, deliberate actions, you're not just building habits, you're building a more resilient, focused, and capable brain. Thank you for joining us on Open for Learn. Keep exploring, keep learning, and keep growing your amazing mind. Until next time, stay curious.